Hi everybody, welcome back to the Ngana Live YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about, actually it's been a while, but today we're going to be talking about Flatland.
Feels so good.
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Feels so good.
Oh my God, it feels so good. Feels so good when you treat me like no other, no other. Feels so good when you call me your lover, your lover. Feels so good, one lucky brother, lucky brother. It feels so good, oh yeah, it feels so good.
By the way, we reached 500 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who made that possible. To the new subscribers, welcome. I'm going to be doing a get to know me video. This is a little bit out of what I usually do on the channel, but because we reached 500 subscribers, I believe it is well deserved is the word. I think well deserved. Yeah, stay tuned. It should be, it shouldn't take more than a week. According to my knowledge, the first South African film that is going to be coming out in theaters since pre-COVID, and that means, I guess, since Knuckle City, because I think Knuckle City was the last local film in cinemas. Should have been Seriously Single, but then obviously that happened just before. So yeah, this is officially the first South African film that is back in cinemas, and it is directed by Jenna Bass. So Jenna Bass made High Fantasy in 2017. If you haven't watched that film, please go check it out on Showmax. It's a pretty fantastic low-budget film that explores racial dynamics, class dynamics, gender dynamics, identity, politics in a very pretty interesting and clever way. A pretty enjoyable film. So yeah, this is her third feature film, if I'm not mistaken. I never watched the first one. I'll try and get a hold of it and maybe I'll review it here on the channel. Flatland stars Faith Baloyi, Nicole Fortuin, Isal Besadenhout, De Klerk Olofse. De Klerk is the name, not the surname. And Brandon Daniels, amongst many others. And it basically follows this newlywed runaway bride and her sister as they try and escape the Cape. They go on a journey where they try to escape Cape Town and try to go all the way to Johannesburg, and a few other things happen on the way. And there's also a character of a policewoman who is also dealing with her own relationship issues on the side, as much as they don't know each other because of the incidents that take place around the same time. They kind of find themselves crossing paths. It's a very interesting film. It's a very slow film, I'll say that. It's a very slow film. It takes a while for it to eventually kind of get into the gear. It takes quite a while. I found it to be a pretty interesting film, and here's why. And I guess this says more about, it's written and directed by Jenna Bass, by the way, and it says more about the filmmaker and how they view the country that we live in. Like I said, Jenna Bass made High Fantasy, which unpacks what South Africa is, or the new South Africa that is, in a pretty interesting way, and you see an extension of that. This film focuses a lot on the male gaze in South Africa amongst men towards women and female bodies, and the entitlement of men to female bodies or women's bodies. Also just the entitlement of men towards women in general, and the authority they believe or perceive that they hold over women. So it's a pretty interesting one. It's a pretty interesting film. It also, once again, also explores, well, I wouldn't necessarily say it explores, but it touches on a few racial themes here and there. This film tells you more about the filmmaker and how they view the country that we live in, and their attempt at trying to address these issues, address these issues of, in this case, masculinity, toxic masculinity at that. And also, by the way, here's a trigger warning. There is a scene in the film, and I feel like because I've watched the film, it would be best for me to mention this, because if you know that, you might not necessarily, or at least prepare yourself mentally to see that. I wouldn't say it's a scene that is necessarily gruesome or gratuitous, but technically speaking, it is a rape scene. And these are things that are explored in the film, and the approach in which she does it in is, once again, I would say interesting. I would say interesting with this film. This is sort of an adventure film in itself, but it has an interesting way, and some of these manners that she tries to approach these issues in, and even the tone and genre of the film and how she tried to approach it is it's hit or miss. There are parts where you're like, oh, this this is pretty good. And then there are parts where, at least for me, I was like, okay, you know, maybe you might have bit off more than you can chew. But overall, it's a pretty enjoyable film. Like I mentioned, it is a bit long, so I can see how most even myself, I found it to be a bit, and I love, like, you know, 2-hour long movies, but I found it to be a bit slow and a bit too long for what it actually delivers. Yeah, the film comes out on the 30th of October, which is Friday, 30th of October 2020, on cinemas, Ster-Kinekor, New Metro, wherever you can go check it out. Yeah, it's and if you haven't seen High Fantasy, please go check out High Fantasy on Showmax. It's a pretty fantastic film. It's a pretty one of those films, like many South African films, that kind of flew under the radar, so I can see how most people might not know about it, but it's currently on Showmax, and I think like I said, go check this film out. Once you've checked it out, please come back, comment down in the comment section, let me know how you felt about this film, let me know how you felt about this review in general. But it is a very important film, or at least in my opinion, and to the filmmaker, in my opinion, and what they were trying to talk about. Once you check this film out, comment down in the comment section below. Let me know how you felt about it. Let me know how you felt about this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. If you did not hate this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you hated this video with every fiber of your being, please just ignore it and pretend that it doesn't exist. Yeah, apart from that, go follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Nana Live, tweeting about movies, talking about movies. Yeah, see you on the next video.